All right, solving systems of equations by the elimination method. So when you think of the word eliminate, that means to get rid of, to cancel out, to take away. So my goal here is that I want to eliminate one of my variables. So that's going to be my key idea. So I want to eliminate a variable. Okay, so when you eliminate one of your variables, it's up to you. You may want to eliminate X, you may want to eliminate Y. Of course, it may be one that may be easier than the other. So you'll kind of see that as we go through some of the problems. Okay, so this one we have 2x plus 5y equals 17, and we have 6x minus 5y equals negative 9. So this time I'm going to eliminate y. And the reason I'm choosing to eliminate y is because I have 5y and I have negative 5y, and those are the opposites, okay? So what's going to happen is I'm going to pretty much combine my two equations from bottom to top. So I'm going to add 2x plus 6x, that gives me 8x. And if I do my 5y minus 5y, that's going to cancel out. So that y is eliminated. Okay, then I have 17 minus 9, and that gives me 8. Then I have an equation with just x, so now I can continue to solve by dividing by 8, and I have x equals 1. Okay, so that second step, we solved for y. Okay, solve for x. Okay, so now my next step, because we know a system has to have an x variable and a y variable, so now I'm going to solve for y. Okay, so remember these two steps here are interchangeable. You may decide that you want to do the other one first, and that's fine. But this is going to be kind of the same thing as substitution. I'm just taking one of my equations, either the first one or the second one, and I'm going to plug in my x. Right where x is. So I have 2 times 1 plus 5y equals 17. So now I have 2 times 1, that's 2. Then I continue to solve, bring down everything. Then I have minus 2 on both sides, and then I have 5y equals 15. Then from here, I'm going to divide both sides by 5. And I have y equals 3. Okay. And then my last step, I need to make sure I write it as a coordinate point. And that's it. All right. So let's look at this next one. So again, you get to decide which variable is easier for you to eliminate. So I'm going to choose y because you see you have this 6y and negative 6y. Okay. So let's go ahead and combine these. I'm going to have 5x plus 3x. That's going to give me 8x. And then I'm going to have these here are going to cancel out because I have negative 6y plus 6y. So that's 0. So that's gone. Then I have negative 32 plus 48 is 16. Then I divide both sides by 8. And I have x equals 2. So that's my first step. Then my last step, remember, I'm going to take one of my equations, either the first one or the second one, and I'm going to replace my x with 2. Okay, let me rewrite that. Okay, so this x is going to go right here. So I'm going to have 5 times 2 minus 6y equals negative 32. I got 5 times 2, which is 10. Bring down everything else. Then I'm going to subtract 10 from both sides. I have negative 6y equals negative 42. And I divide both sides by negative 6. And I have y equals positive 7. Okay. Then I write that answer as a coordinate point. And excuse me for writing so messy. Y'all know I write all over the place. But the answer for the second one is 2, 7. All right, and here is the last one. So you're going to have some equations that might not eliminate right away. Okay, as you see, both of these equations are in standard form, so it is set up for me to do my elimination method, but I'm going to have to change around my equation first. So let's say I wanted to eliminate y. I have 15y. So that means I would need negative 15y in order for that to cancel out. Okay, so I want to think about, if I have my y's here and I have negative 5y, I'm going to have to multiply that by 3 in order to get negative 15. Okay, so what I'm going to do from here, I'm going to multiply this whole equation by 3. So I have 3 times 7x, 21x. I'll have 3 times negative 5y, that's negative 15y. And I'll have 3 times 17, which is 51. So all that happened was this equation here became this equation. So these two equations are equivalent, okay, because I multiplied it by that same number. So I'm going to bring down the equation that I didn't do anything with, and I'm going to write that directly under this. Okay, so I have plus 15y equals negative 32. Okay, now we have some terms or a variable that can eliminate. So I have 2x or 21x minus 2x, that will give me 19x. These will cancel out because I have my negative 15y and positive 15y. And then here I have 51 minus 32, which that'll give me 19. Then my last step, I divide both sides by 19 and I get x equals 1. Okay, now that I have my x, I take one of my equations. Like I said, you can choose either one you want to. And I'm going to plug in 1 for x. So I have 2 times 1 plus 15y equals negative 32. So 2 times negative 1 is 2, and I bring down everything else. Add 2 to both sides. And I have 15y equals negative 30. Then I'll divide both sides by 15. And I have y equals negative 2. And then finally, I will write that as a coordinate point, which is 1, negative 2. And that's it.